Bex. This video is going to be about bad latch and split nipples. Advice as to what worked for me, what didn't work, techniques and why it might be happening. I'm a full-time mum. My boy is 23 months old and I still breastfeed. The odds were against me because I had an emergency C-section, which means your milk can come in a lot later. So I really fought the odds because a lot of mums, when the milk comes in late and your baby's losing weight, will literally just go, I'm not making enough milk for my baby, I'm just going to bottle feed. You know, if that's a choice you decide to make, fine, that's no problem at all. If that's what's good for you and your baby, you do that. I felt robbed from a natural birth, which is what I really wanted. So I was really persistent with breastfeeding. I didn't want to fail in that area. To me, I didn't want to fail in that area. It was important to me. So I basically did everything I could to up my supply. So because my baby was on me so often, trying to up my supply, with a bad latch, which I wasn't aware of, he didn't have tongue tie. His latch was deep, which is good. You need a deep latch. But the problem we had was it wasn't until I videoed myself breastfeeding him from the side till I realised my breast kept popping out of his mouth because my boob was so engorged. It was just tight, and obviously his mouth was quite small. It was a whole combination of different things. So I found a technique online called sandwiching, and my child's just fallen over. He's okay, yeah. Called sandwiching. So you basically get your breast and you sandwich it down, you squeeze it down. So you'd hold your breast and you'd squeeze it whilst they're latched, and that helps them get a deeper, better latch. Now, the size and shape and texture and durability of your boobs before you're pregnant and when you're beginning to breastfeed will be completely different to what they are 6 months, a year later down the line. You'll not even recognise them. But it's totally worth it. It is. It's totally worth it for me. So it's so distracting when your toddler is doing things in the background. It's okay. So when I was breastfeeding, I ended up with split nipples. I had like a cross split in one, which got hard and bled, and I had a gouge missing out of the other one. Oh my God, the pain. This was probably 4 or 5 weeks into breastfeeding, and I wanted to give up. It stung so much. I would flinch the second I could see my baby about to latch, and he was feeding every 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. I was in agony. I was crying when he was feeding, and I felt awful because my baby would be looking up at me whilst I'm feeding him, and I was trying so hard to not cry. I didn't want it to be a negative experience for him. It was supposed to be a pleasurable bonding experience, you know, with the oxytocin flowing and things like that. And it just wasn't. So one of my midwives suggested Lantano cream. I think that's how you pronounce it, Lantano. Works fantastic for a lot of people. It really does. But what I didn't know is some people have an intolerance to it. So after weeks of using this, it did jack all for me. Absolutely nothing. If anything, it made them slightly more sensitive. And I didn't know why they were healing. And neither did one of the health visitors. I had a lot of people tell me I had to stop breastfeeding and just go bottle, and I was determined not to. Some people told me cold cabbage leaves in your bra. Yeah, it actually soothed them, but it wasn't quite enough for me. Best thing I found was raw compressed coconut oil. Oh my God, it was amazing. It's natural antibacterial, it takes the sting out of it, it keeps it moist so they don't dry out and crack, which mine started to do. Most importantly, it's safe for your baby to ingest. And that's the big deal about what you put on your nipples. You need to be putting things on there that isn't going to give them bellyache, isn't going to poison them in any way. Raw coconut oil, it's fantastic for so many things. It cured my boy's eczema. So you're not going to waste it if you're spend £12 on a decent, you know, organic raw compressed coconut oil, because you're going to use it for so many things. Cooking, your hair, your skin, teeth, anything. So that's what worked for me. I literally put it on before I breastfed, after I breastfed, after the shower, if I felt that they started to go a little bit dry from being in my bra with the breast pads, I'd just coat that stuff on, and after maybe 2 weeks, they stopped stinging. They were starting to heal very slowly, but they were healing. And I noticed the difference when he would latch and I wouldn't get the stinging, like glass, you know, like pricky glass in my nipples. That started to go. So totally recommend that. Something else that really worked for me, nipple guards. Now, I had one midwife tell me, no, she wasn't a midwife, she was a health visitor, tell me she recommended nipple guards to help so it doesn't hurt as much. What they do is they protect your nipple from their mouth, so it gives it a chance to heal, so you're not getting friction. When you get a deep latch, you want the nipple to be sitting in the baby's mouth behind the bumpy bits in your mouth. If you feel your mouth behind your teeth there's some bumps, okay, like ripples. If you have a bad shallow latch, your nipple is rubbing against that in the baby's mouth, and oh my goodness, that is what causes a lot of the friction, a lot of the pain. It aggravates your nipple. You need to make sure it's beyond that. So if you feel beyond the ripples, there's like a smooth, soft divot. That's where your nipple should be sitting with a nice deep latch. Now, this health visitor basically said to me, yes, you can use nipple guards. I'm not a fan of them though. Okay, so why not? Well, you know, it's fake, isn't it? She gave me her opinion on this, that as a new mum, I want to do what's best for my baby, and I just want to fix things and be a good mum and make things work. So when you've got somebody experienced like that, putting a negative spin on it, it makes you go, oh, well, you know, am I a failing mother for trying those? That was just her opinion, and, you know, I took it to heart and I shouldn't have done. But the nipple guards that I got, there's so many different brands. I ended up using a brand called MAM, M-A-M, because I found they were closest to the shape of my nipple, because I didn't want my baby to reject them or get used to them and then reject me. So with these MAM nipple guards, I'd literally use a little bit of saliva to attach it to my areola. They can be a bit tricky. Sometimes you've got to hold them in place while your baby latches. But what you have to do with them is make sure the size you get is larger than your nipple, because you want space inside the nipple guard. Hello, monkey. Hi, Mummy's doing a video. He's taking your shoe off. Thank you. You want space inside the nipple guard so that your nipple's not rubbing against it. The whole point of it is so there's space around it, and you'll see, if your baby pulls away, you'll see that it fills with milk. Mine, to begin with, filled with blood, because they were that severe. And it scared me seeing that, because, well, this is a place blood shouldn't be coming from, really, basically. But yeah, nipple guards and coconut oil saved me no end. One of my breasts was so bad, like so bad, so the nipple guards weren't helping, and I just, the pain was intense. I couldn't stand it. I really couldn't. So for a while, I breastfed from one with a nipple guard and the coconut oil, and I expressed with my expressing machine on the other one, so that I made sure they were both constantly being used. The beauty about that though is it actually helped me up my supply, because I was expressing straight away on the other breast, and then my baby kept going onto the breast he'd already had 2 hours later, rather than going on the opposite breast. So they were both being used every 2 hours rather than 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. So 4, you know. So that worked wonders for me. everybody's different. You could try it, see if it works for you. Don't try these things and once or twice and then go, oh, that hasn't worked, move on to the next. You need to be persistent with each thing you try, because it's practice. We're not going to get everything right the first time round. But yeah, if you feel stopping breastfeeding is for you, do it. Don't listen to anybody else. You're the mum. You know what's best. It's what suits you, your lifestyle, your baby. So, good luck. Bye. Oh, press like if you enjoyed this and you want me to do some more, because I've got so many more stories to tell. Take care. Bye.